Welcome to the lab, everybody. I'm your host, Joshua Diaz, and it is July 26th, 2022, 5:04 here on the West Coast. Good to be here. Good to see you. How's everybody doing? Thank you for being here and making the lab a part of your day. Now, I appreciate everybody being here, and I appreciate all the love and support that this channel receives and the great people that make this channel what it is. And I'm always grateful that anybody shows up to watch the show. And so thank you from the bottom of my heart. I truly do appreciate it. And we have a special show for you tonight, one that is dedicated solely to the 1 year anniversary of Michael Vaughan going missing. And what a tragic story it is, still with the answers still not there yet. And we're very hopeful that something does come up. And we've had another press conference, which was moved up a little bit by the Fruitland Police Department. And we were going to go over some of that stuff. Also, for the first time that I've heard publicly, Tyler Vaughn, father of Michael, speaks. And that is something new and significant. And we'll talk about that as well. I just ask that people be respectful in the chat, which everybody usually 99% of the time is. And so that's always appreciated. So thank you in advance. People can have their opinions and express themselves specifically in the comments after the show. Not a problem. But let's just first and foremost stick with the facts that we know, and then we can kind of talk about some of the other stuff on the other side of that. Now, I've put together a slide with some information that I took from the press conference and what I felt was significant. Most of it was, and it was a fantastic press conference by the Fruitland Police. They seem to be completely on top of it, and such great people seem to be working that case, taking it so serious, doing everything that they can. And you'll see that here laid out in front of you. It's one thing when somebody's telling it to you. When it's laid out in front of you, it's a whole different animal. It is an absolute whole different animal when you can look at this. Okay. And so here is the Idaho Clearinghouse missing person, endangered missing poster. Michael Joseph Vaughan, and he was last seen wearing a light blue Minecraft shirt and black boxer briefs with lime green stitching with size 11 flip-flop sandals. Last seen around Southwest 9th Street in Fruitland, Idaho. This photo was taken 1 month prior to him being seen last. And there at the bottom, it does say, if you have any information concerning Michael, please contact Fruitland Police Department. And there's the number, emails at the bottom. And so let's just get into it. So the Michael Vaughan case details are as such. Investigators searched over 200 residential homes, properties, and outbuildings, garbage cans, vehicles, irrigation ditches, drainage canals. What a terrible, just having to search those places. Obviously you have to do it. that can't be easy. Even just to even have to hear that. So all this information is from the Fruitland Police Department. Over 3,000 acres of farm ground were searched. And the equipment that was used was drones, boats with sonar, canines, paragliders, and more. There have been 27 search warrants executed and many other mutual consent searches, which is no warrants needed. They've received over 1,000 tips and they've processed over 1,000 leads. 27 search warrants, and I believe as the officer said, or I believe captain said, he said that probably triple that were just mutual consent searches, meaning people said, you know what, search my property. I don't, which is great. I think that's what I would do. Now, this is interesting right here. And they didn't exactly go into detail of why the timeline was refined, but it is now believed that Michael Vaughan went missing between 6:40 p.m. and 7 o'clock that night. So that's an even shorter window than before. Now, that is somewhat significant, obviously. Personally, in my opinion, it doesn't take but 20 seconds for a kid to go missing. 20 minutes to me, is an eternity. 2 minutes is an eternity. And but now it is a smaller window than what it was before. And also a 2016 to 2018 white Honda Pilot leaving the area at the time of the disappearance has still not been identified and is outstanding. And as you see there on your screen, what you're looking at is a car examples, the top to the bottoms is 2016 to 2018. They believe that it could be a residence, but they haven't been able to substantiate that. They have nothing. They haven't been able to clear it. So this piece of information is still outstanding. One of the big pieces of information that was released during the press conference was a man seen walking through a splash pad at the time Michael went missing. And he hasn't come forward and he hasn't been identified, but police say that he's not a suspect, but investigators would like to talk to him to verify his whereabouts and see if he has witnessed anything. Now, I find this obviously completely relevant and interesting, and obviously the police do too, because they have put that out there. But if you think about this, in that town or in that area, this case is big. There's not a lot of people there. There's not a lot of people around. What I don't understand is how this man hasn't come forward yet. Now, I know that they say he's not a suspect, and I discourage anybody from any kind of vigilante, but you would think that this man would see this and show up and want to clear himself as soon as possible. And it seems like that they have been trying to find this man, substantiate his whereabouts, and if he has any information, then they would like to talk to him. Another thing that was said was that this is a criminal investigation. This is a criminal investigation. Okay. And I don't know if that had been said before, but I assume that was the angle that had been working, that they had been working on. But it is significant to say that it is a criminal investigation. And some of the miscellaneous stuff that I found interesting that we can talk about here is that it was said that there are no absolutes, and the chief is completely right. People want to work in absolutes. They want somebody to either be cleared or be a person of interest or a suspect. Specifically, the reason those questions were asked is towards the parents. And statistically, obviously, more often than not, the parents may have or are looked at first and foremost. But here's the thing. Nothing is off the table. If you look right below that, everything is still on the table. Everything is still on the table. Now, what exactly does that mean? No absolutes and everything still is on the table. So check this out. I've thought about this for quite some time in most cases. If you're not a person of interest or you've been cleared by the police department, it literally means nothing. Because when something like that happens, a child, i.e. a child going missing or a murder or, whatever, it is something that if they're cleared, that doesn't mean that they can be looked at again. It means nothing to clear. Maybe they're working in an opposite direction. They're going, you know what? We're wasting our time here. We're not talking about the parents anymore. We don't feel that that's the direction that they're going at. We're going to clear them. We're going to clear the parents. Now, why, in my opinion, what good does that do other than publicly relieving some pressure on the family? But the fact of the matter is they don't have enough information to clear anybody. They don't have that information. And even if they did, I don't know how much that would matter, because just because they say that you're cleared doesn't mean that you're actually cleared. They can go right back to somebody that they once thought was not a suspect or that they once thought wasn't involved. They come across new information, then they'll go back to wherever the evidence leads. I think the only time somebody should be considered clear is when a person is considered guilty by 12 peers look, that's the thing, is that, there's a child missing. Nobody knows the answers yet. Obviously, everything is still on the table. Multiple persons of interest. They didn't specify who the multiple persons of interest are. But they're still going to look at the family. They're still going to look at people close to the family. They're still going to look at friends of the family. That's just how these work. That's how it works. And right here it says that they haven't tied to any other abduction case, or it's not tied to any other abduction case, and that there are similarities to the Summerwells case. And I know, and let's just get this out of the way right now. I know that people want to tie these things together. First and foremost, I don't believe Summerwells was abducted by a stranger or some, crime syndicate. And personally, I don't believe that Michael was either. I don't know what happened to either one of them. The only similarities are approximate age, and nobody knows what happened. and they can't find him. That is, to me, the only similarities that I see. I don't see many here. I get it. They're missing children cases, but people really, really, really want that connection. It's that there's some random person running about the country. Not saying that it doesn't happen. Picking up little kids, or, it's happened with prostitutes in the past. But I don't really think that they have anything to do with each other than similarities, other than the children going missing. Possible accident. There's always that possibility. And JLo 2 says maybe a tactic to keep people of interest cooperating and still talking. Sure. Eve, True Crime with Eve, by the way, who covers this case, and she's done a fantastic job on it. She says, I really wish the local media would have asked better questions, especially about public safety. Let's see. There was one. Let me take you here. Somebody's just said something. So Josh, you don't feel Michael was taken? I think that there's a much better chance that he was abducted than Summers' case. And the reason I say that is because it was reported that others had seen the young man wandering around the neighborhood. And in Summers' case, which I don't even like comparing the two or really even merging the two, I really don't. But I think that there is a better chance. I don't know. The answer is I don't know. And I don't know why they took so long to release the picture either. I mean, that's something. Let's see. Here's a good question. Josh, how far apart are Summer and Michael's homes? I don't know. 1,000 miles away? Probably. And let's see here. I hate this mouse. It sucks. Between both cases, the coverage is hypocritical, in my opinion. The reason I'm going to disagree with you on that is, now, while everybody's a suspect in both cases, and once again, I hate even talking about both of them at the same time. I don't remember Michael's parents playing a prank on the sister. I don't remember somebody going and buying crack and passing it out, trying to prove that they didn't sell their daughter. I don't believe that they've had children taken from them in the past. Anyway, that's how I feel about it. That's just how I feel about it. I'm just trying to figure out what people think links them. Nothing other than their imaginations. How many hours of drunken drug times have you seen them? Look, yeah, I don't know what goes on. I don't know what goes on in Brandy and Tyler's house. I know that there's allegations and that people say things and that the scrutiny is going to come no matter what. It doesn't matter. There's always going to be scrutiny when your child goes missing. But I just feel as though age links the two children. I mean, I guess so. Not really. Not really though. Eve somewhat agrees with me here. It's already starting where creators are trying to link the two cases by an abductor. It's highly unlikely and honestly silly. It's highly unlikely and probably, dang near impossible. It's just weird. It's just, I don't know. I guess like these stories aren't horrific enough. This isn't Netflix and this isn't how these things work. It's not a Netflix documentary where, you can somehow loosely tie them together. There is nothing tying these together. Age, I guess, but that's not good enough to me. It's just, the similarities are the kids are missing and nobody knows what happened and everybody's still on the table and they're trying to solve the crime. That's, to me, the similarities. Now, the one thing that I do. Oh, yeah. Let me say that as well. Hold on. Is there another slide? No, there's not. I should have put this on there. I didn't know. It is stated, though, and take this however you want, that law enforcement continues to say that the family is fully cooperating. That's from law enforcement. So there's another dissimilarity. Sheriff says on Summers' case that that nobody's cooperating. And here a year later, it seems as though they're still cooperating. Now, none of that, like I said, none of that clears anybody of anything. None of that clears anybody. But the multiple persons of interest is extremely interesting. The no absolutes is extremely interesting. This is a criminal investigation. This man walking. We know more about this case. There's somewhat more to go on in Summers' case. You can't be cooperating and still know something criminal or not forthcoming with info, of course. That's why they say that they are cooperating, but nothing is off the table. Nothing. That's the thing. Nothing can be off the table until Michael's found and the case is solved. Nothing will ever be off the table. Nothing will ever be off the table. Now, Tyler speaks for the first time, and we're going to listen to it here in a second. This is his, I believe this was the first time that he spoke publicly. And let's give a look here.
I don't want to get out of bed every day. But we do it, and we try to keep our stuff together.
Try.
And just get through every day. Change bug. Michael was playing on his Switch. She was sleeping, so it took a minute for me to rouse her. And then I changed a diaper and ordered pizza. Probably took me, 15 minutes maybe. And came back out and went outside to smoke, and Monkey wasn't outside, so I figured he was inside with his brother, wasn't inside.
That's when panic kicked in for Tyler.
I came outside and I looked down the street and I hopped in the car and called Brandy and drove to the splash pad and then all over the neighborhood, walking, running, driving. Like I couldn't tell you where. I mean, I didn't leave the neighborhood, but all up and down.
Frantically, he called Brandy, asking her to get home immediately.
I was scared, and she was the first person I thought to call. I needed her home as fast as I could because I was panicked and out of my mind.
Panicked because he has no idea where his best buddy Michael is.
He's a wonderful, wonderful little boy.
So, I know that people, there's not much there, but people will pick at it. And that's what happens. And that's a lot of the times why people don't want to talk is because the over analysis of what was said there. But there was a couple interesting things that he said. Now, I know one of the first things people would say was, oh, he laughed. Why is he laughing? Why would anybody laugh? There's a lot of reasons. I mean, that to me, that didn't seem like a joyous laugh. I'm not defending the guy. I'm just telling you how I feel. And so you ever been talking to somebody that you really didn't really want to talk to, and you're uncomfortable, and there's a I don't know. It doesn't scream suspicious to me. That doesn't seem suspicious. I'll tell you what does seem suspicious to me. What will always seem suspicious to me is that, and this is how it always is, and this isn't a knock against Tyler or Brandy or anybody, but the one thing that just is never easy to explain is the last person in custody of the child. It always looks bad. It always looks bad. And it is hard to explain why something like that would happen. Now, is it guilt? Is it guilty knowledge? Is it, I don't know. I laugh when I tell my doctor negative health things. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people do. Not everybody's a public speaker. That's really, to me, what needs to be more, holds more, I don't know. The question holds more weight is, you're the last person to be in charge of the child. That is going to bring you absolute hell and devastation and criticism and guilt. And if you didn't have anything to do with the child going missing, it's impossible almost to explain until the case is solved and somebody is put in jail for the crime. And so that's really where I stand with that. Like I said, statistics, yes, they're there. But if you go back and look at everything that they've done. 200 residential homes, property, outbuilding, garbage cans, vehicles, irrigation ditches, drainage canals. Now, if he was just picked up and taken away by a stranger, which is possible, because they do say that he was outside playing, you're never going to you will not get the answers you need until somebody's put away for it and Michael's found. Jesse Cribb says, the lab, do you still talk to Brandy? I talk to everybody. In every case that I cover, I've had some communication with almost every parent or, so yes, not often at all. And, maybe once a month at the most. And, it's nothing It's just a, hey, how's it going? Hope everything's progressing, things like that. Nothing formal. She doesn't give me any information. I don't ask her for any information, but yes. Yeah. And I kind of noticed this too. He doesn't speak in past tense, and I noticed that, in the chat, people are talking about the polygraph tests. I've heard that that he may have shown deception on a certain question or certain questions. I don't know. But I don't like polygraphs anyway. I hate them. I think they get in the way of, gut instinct, really. That's personal, my opinion. I mean, people state that Don and Candace passed their polygraphs, but I don't believe that either. And then, I'm if you take a polygraph test and for whatever reason, it could be operator error, it could be subject error, I don't know. But it is interesting. And it is something that you want to look at. Jackie McMillan says the only reason Brandy and Tyler aren't getting the Dawn and Candace treatment is because they look cleaner and have a nicer home, in her opinion. Well, I disagree. If at any point law enforcement says that Brandy and Tyler are not cooperating, I will question that in a major way. And if at any point they talk about him being dead and buried somewhere, I will question that in a major way. If at any point Tyler and Brandy pull a shotgun on a CPS worker, I'll question that. If at any point Tyler and Brandy stop cooperating, then I'll call that how I see it too. So it doesn't have any, to me personally, I don't treat them different because they look cleaner. I don't care about that. Could care less about how clean they are. And it is weird the lengths that we'll reach to find discrepancies and chew people apart. And I understand why this happens. I understand why it happens. Because I don't know what it's like to have a kid go missing, and God forbid that ever happens to me or anybody here watching this show. It's just tragic. And I don't know how I would react. And then imagine the skeletons. I mean, we've all got them. Everybody's got skeletons in their closet, right? I would think so. And then especially when it, who's that? I've been mad at my children before. I've said things to my children that I didn't mean out of anger. I don't know. Dawn and Candace want to be YouTube famous. Well, they got their wish. The Wells never did anything in the search of their daughter. Every day, drank, parties, lies, and nothing to help at all. Completely different types of people. I don't know. I don't know Tyler and Brandy. I don't know their past history. And it's hard for me to really say. And Eve asked what I thought about Tyler being read his Miranda rights. The only thing I think about is that he's not in custody. And after a year, and I'm sure that they've focused on him hard and probably still are trying to focus on him. If Tyler had something to do with this, if Brandy does, I don't know. Well, they'll go to jail if they can prove it. That's just how I feel, though. Maybe just a prettier outer package. No, but to me, that has nothing to do with it. Just because Don and Candace live like hogs and they didn't even have to. And I'll bet you, this is just I bet you that Don probably made more money than Brandy and Tyler put together. He's just a pig. He's always been a pig. Dude made a lot of money, you guys. Okay. He just didn't fix up his house. So let's not just say that the Wells are poor, because that's horse crap. It's not true. They are not poor. They weren't poor. It's just what Don wanted to spend his money on. He's an absolute dirtbag. All you got to do is vacuum your floor. It's their history. It's that they've lost all of their kids. I know he made good money. I know for a fact he made good money. He told me. I talked to the guy. It sucked. It sucked talking to him on the phone. He was horrible. But yeah, and another thing was he would not hire people specifically, so he didn't have to pay them, and he could just keep the lion's share of the money. He did that all the time. Told me he did that. He had money, man. He worked. Don was a functioning alcoholic drug addict who worked all the time. He had money. They had nice cars. And they lived in a big crap house. That's their problem. So it's not about the package. It's about, I would say that Brandy and Tyler are just much cleaner humans. And like I said, I don't know what, I don't know their financial situation. I don't care. But I know that Don made a lot of money. So it's not about them being poor. It's not about them being rich. I mean, you can vacuum your floor. It's not a big deal. That's really it. I didn't mean that as in money making type way. I mean presentation. Right. But I mean, if you go and look at 110 Ben Hill Road, you'll just see like old toys and crap cars and rusted out whatever. The average start salary for a drywaller, that's a start salary. The guy's been doing it a long time. He said when he was 12 in Tennessee, starts at $40K according to Google. He had money. Yeah, he had money. Exactly. It would be the most horrific, terrible experience to go through. Your missing child. I just couldn't live my life. I couldn't eat, sleep. It is exactly. This is easy. She's so easy. She couldn't even put the L on the lazy. Ben Hill was an expression of Dawn. Yeah. It was like an outer, yeah. Obviously, there's no comparison in a sense of how horrific of a past Dawn and Candace have. That shouldn't even be a debate. No, but it doesn't mean, it doesn't mean that they didn't have anything to do with it. I personally I just don't know. And I don't think anybody knows. They know. Dawn and Candace know. If they had something to do with Summer going missing, and Tyler and Brandy know if they had something to do with Michael going missing. But other than that, I don't know anything. I don't know. I find it odd. Let's just put it that way. Thanks, Bethany. I appreciate that. Just getting us back on track. Now, if you think about this again, 3,000 acres, drones, boats, 27 search warrants, the police are working this case, and they are working it hard, and they have been from the day that he went missing. That press conference was incredible. The way that they took their time, they were thorough, they seemed to be honest. And since it is a criminal investigation, they're not going to share intimate details because they know much more, obviously, than they're telling. That's obviously a good thing. Even Tyler and Brandy have said, Tyler and Brandy have also said that, that they're not being told everything either. Maybe, I don't know if that's an indicator of anything or not, but I do know that the facts are the facts and that the timeline has now changed. We have a car still outstanding. We have an unidentified man who has not come forward, and that this is a criminal investigation. To me, that speaks volumes. That there are teeth in this investigation. There's a grip. There's stuff being done. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the super chat. Very nice of you. Thank you. Absolutely prayers for Michael's safe return. And that's really, if we get back to it, poor Michael has now been missing for a year. And I honestly do, statistic wise, it doesn't look good, but I when it comes to these cases, we just hope for miracles, because miracles can happen. Miracles can happen. And they do happen. But if you want to talk about statistics, it's not good. The statistics are not good. But there are possible. Why I say possible? It is possible that a miracle happens, and we can pray for that every day. And you know what? I hope and pray that the family is not involved in this, and that Michael is alive somewhere, and they bring him home reunited. That is my hope. That is my hope. But I don't know. The one thing I find this one odd is that when they're talking about the car, they said that they believe that it is possibly a residence, but like I would think that would probably be pretty easy to track down, right? I don't know. And Arrestbook writes, thank you for continuing to share Michael's story and keeping his face at the forefront. It's important we look at the facts and help bring him home. I agree with that. Thank you so much for that, Lana. I appreciate that. Very much so. Jody says these cases are so damn heartbreaking. There's no doubt about that. But that's another thing. Frosty After Dark says here, maybe those uncooperative suspects will start cooperating. That's a very interesting point because there are unidentified, I don't know if they're suspects, but people who are not cooperating with law enforcement. I don't know who they are, and I don't know what they're not cooperating with other than the investigation, which is enough to make you scratch your head and go, why wouldn't you cooperate? Let's listen to that again.
I don't want to get out of bed every day. But we do it, and we try to keep our stuff together.
Try.
And just get through every day. Change bug. Michael was playing on his Switch. She was sleeping, so it took a minute for me to rouse her. And then I changed a diaper and ordered pizza. Probably took me, I don't know, 15 minutes maybe. And came back out and went outside to smoke, and Monkey wasn't outside, so I figured he was inside with his brother, wasn't inside.
That's when panic kicked in for Tyler.
I came outside and I looked down the street and I hopped in the car and called Brandy and drove to the splash pad and then all over the neighborhood, walking, running, driving. Like I couldn't tell you where. I mean, I didn't leave the neighborhood, but all up and down.
Frantically, he called Brandy, asking her to get home immediately.
I was scared, and she was the first person I thought to call. I needed her home as fast as I could because I was panicked and out of my mind.
Panicked because he has no idea where his best buddy Michael is.
He's a wonderful, wonderful little boy.
And so Agent 99 says, I'm sorry, the laughing has always bothered me. Maybe it's nerves. I don't know. It just, to me, it doesn't seem like a laugh. It's those kind of things are involuntary. You know, there's anxiety involved. There's nervousness involved. It wasn't like, it's not a belly laugh. It's not a joyous laugh. I don't hear any of that. I don't hear any of that. But the fact of the matter is, I don't know who did what. I have no clue. Josh, the guy drove the Honda Pilot, was he ever found? As far as I know, no. I do no. Now they're claiming that they say it's still outstanding. Now, and another thing that they said is there are search warrants still being written. That was during the press conference. They said that search warrants were still being written. And I applaud law enforcement and you know them trying to be as transparent as possible. But yeah, yes, I believe it's a nervous laugh. I don't think he's like going, we're getting over on you. You know, Eve says right here, and she knows her stuff. They have an idea of who it belongs to, but need to confirm who the driver is. They believe it belongs to a community resident. I mean, how many Honda Pilots are in that neighborhood? Seems like a lot. Jackie's not a fan. You can see right here. He sounds like he's stoned. I don't know. And I don't know the answer to this either. This is a great question. Was Tyler the only adult in the house with the children? I don't know. LE needs a warrant for almost everything. Well, they said that they've done triple of 27, so close to 90. not 90. Not they didn't need search warrants for close to 90. I don't know. Yeah, but even Eve, what about when you say a few actually, like it's not that, I don't know. I'm confused about that one a little bit. You would think that would be something that you could find out rather quickly. You would think, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm off there. I don't know. I'm not really sure. No, it's okay. I don't know if he's stoned or not. He could be stoned. See here. And 99 pink balloons with the picture of Leticia Hernandez on there. I could be wrong, but I see two adults desperately trying to protect each other. Trezell and Jackie vibes. Well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't feel that way. I don't really know. I don't feel that way about them. I feel that, that they have been trying to find their child. That's just my personal opinion. I know that people will dig at that and say, how they feel about it. And look, and here's the crap part. And I even think about this in the other cases, but this is the hard part about it, guys, is that until they've given you a legit reason other than gut instinct to trash them, I'm just not willing to do it. But gut instinct to me is not enough to completely hammer the parents of a missing child. I know that it's been reported that Brandy had said something to her daughter that wasn't a great look, or that possibly there was fighting in the home. But until they give you a reason, like not when law enforcement comes out and just flat out says, look, dude, they're not cooperating. They're hindering our investigation. They're not helping look. Can understand. Yeah, she was threatening a baby. Well, I don't know. I'll let you guys I'll let you guys decide that one. That's really not for me. The fact that mom, dad, grandpa were included in the press conference tells us Ellie and parents are working together. I believe that 100%. And the law enforcement says that too. And as Eve says, that doesn't mean that they don't know more. That just means that they are cooperating. But until they give me personally, and I don't look, everybody's entitled to their own opinion and you can take it how you want. I just don't have anything right now that will make me want to completely to trash the parents of this missing child. That's just me. Not going to do it. Just not going to do that. If there's a report tomorrow that they have stopped cooperating and they've lawyered up and there's evidence pointing in the direction of like direct evidence, then maybe. Then I could see that. Then I could see that. Yes, my first gut instinct when I heard Brandy's press conference was she was lying and not a good actress, but everything I've learned since about them has just cemented my first instinct. But it's only an instinct. There's no proof. There's no proof. And there's really no criminal history to back that up. There's no child abuse history. I get it. You know, she said something to the child that didn't sound great, and you know, he who was without sin cast the first stone. And I know everybody's gonna go, well, I've never done that. Yeah, but have you though? Have you not? I mean, maybe it's easier to justify something you've said to somebody, and in your mind you go, oh, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was, or that wasn't as bad as what that person did. I don't know. And I'm not saying it's right. It's wrong. You don't talk to children that way. Well, we can all agree on that. My gut instinct is magical, Josh. Love and respect your show. Thank you so much, 99 Pink Balloons. I appreciate you being here. That's the thing. We will see, Cindy. We will. I believe so. I believe. Thank you for that super sticker. Where the wind blows. I appreciate that. I don't look at something guilty without any proof of the family is telling their story. Nothing they've said has been counter-reacted by the police as a lie. Facts, truth, don't need, you know, I'm just reporting to you how I feel and what I think, but it doesn't make it fact. Okay. I could be completely wrong. It is a horribly sad case. It's a horribly sad case. And in my opinion, to compare the Wells and this family, the Vaughn and the Neals, to me, doesn't make any sense. And that's why I don't really want to do it. Let's see. And that's on creators who created cases to be you versus everyone who disagrees. Why is the new way? It's gross and it's not fair to these missing kids. Yeah, exactly. You are more than welcome to disagree with me. Obviously, I'm not going to get upset about it. I'm not going to get mad about it. I'm just telling you how I feel about it because this is my show and that's what I do. I tell you how I feel. And if at any point it is ever revealed that there is damaging evidence or something from the past that missed that, you know, I'm not going to take somebody yelling at a kid. I have friends. I've known people that have, you know, I wouldn't talk to my kid that way, or I wouldn't say things to my kid that way. I've done that before. I've even said I wouldn't have handled it that way. That's fair enough. We're not, folks, we're not perfect people. Nah, they're not mirrored. Yeah, that's really how I feel about that. You know, different opinions are welcome. They've always been welcome. I don't know. It's not really something I'm interested in. But as in nobody ever yelled at their kid. I don't know, man. That's just the thing. It doesn't mean anything. It might to you, but to me, it doesn't. It's good that it's a good thing everyone has a right to their own opinion, thoughts, and ideas. Agree to disagree, but arguing is a moot point. And not, I don't know. It's because creators who yell the most about clicks, likes, and views are in fact getting those clicks, likes, and views. Yeah, probably. You're probably right about that. You can start a war and people flock to it, man. They flock to it. They love the drama as long as it's not theirs, but they like to hear other people air out their dirty laundry. Their dirty laundry, When I was a young single mother, yes, I yelled at my kids. I know. Of course. And I'm sure you regret it, and I'm sure you didn't think it was a good thing. It's not a good thing. We can all agree on that. But let's just go over this one more time. Investigators search over 200 residential homes, properties, and outbuildings, garbage cans, vehicles, irrigation ditches, and drainage canals. Over 3,000 acres of farm ground search, drones, boats with sonar, canine, paragliders, and more used in the search. Served 27 search warrants, and they're still writing some today. Many other mutual consent searches, and have received and processed over 1,000 leads. Refined timeline. This is significant. It's now believed that Michael went missing between 6:40 and 7 p.m. that day. And the 2016 to 2018 white Honda Pilot leaving the area of the time of the disappearance has still not been identified and is outstanding. Man seen walking through the splash pad at the time of Michael going missing has not come forward and has not been identified. Police say he's not a suspect, but they would like to verify his whereabouts and to see if he witnessed anything, and that this is a criminal investigation. There are no absolutes. Everything is still on the table. Multiple persons of interest, and haven't tied to any other abduction cases, similarities to the Summerwells case, but not, I don't know. Yeah, there's some similarities. The kids went missing. Thank you for sharing this information, Josh. It's important to help bring Michael home. Thank you. Thank you. Do I have any thoughts or theories? I don't, it's just so hard. I don't know. It's just so difficult to speculate here. I want to believe that the family has nothing to do with it, but that's nothing that you can ever rule out. And there is always that possibility, since he was running around, of a stranger abduction. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Multiple persons of interest, and I know that there are people that aren't cooperating. I want to thank everybody for being here, and thank you for all the new subscribers. Make sure to hit the thumbs up, subscribe, like, comment. Please be respectful in the comments. You're welcome to leave your theories or whatever it is that you want to do. Absolutely. I wouldn't want to walk a second in their shoes. Agreed. Thank you so much. I appreciate you all being here. Take care.
Don't say any F's and stuff. Don't say any F's and stuff. Don't say any F's and stuff.